Shine, everyone. It's 6 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Hope you had a wonderful weekend out there. Jason and Alicia here to kick off your week.
Yes, good morning to you. Let's say good morning to Ben, who's in for John today. I know John's been out ice fishing. My husband was fishing this weekend. Got zero fish. Big old goose egg.
Well, you know what? At least, what is it? A good day fishing is better than a good day in the office, whatever that is. Hey, this morning, get this. No sub-zero temperatures, no sub-zero wind chill value this morning. In fact, we're at 17 degrees right now. That's about 9 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Some parts of southeastern Minnesota close to 20 degrees warmer this morning than this time yesterday. So we are on a warming trend, and that'll be the case all week long. This is the temperature and wind chill graph for today. You can see air temperature near the freezing mark by this afternoon. Every day this week has the potential at hitting 32 degrees or warmer. So the string of mild conditions begins today. With the warmer air does come a lot of cloud cover, and we are keeping an eye on a small chance for a little wintry mix Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll have more on that in a couple of minutes. First, let's get a look at the roads this morning with Alicia.
Monday morning's off to a great start. Thanks, Ben. No crashes out there, no delays, and drive times are average so far this morning. We're just about 2 hours away from St. Louis Park High School reopening its campus with new safety measures now in place.
This all comes after two fights involving both students and adults forced the school to shut down Friday for an investigation. Cece Gaines is live outside the high school with those changes, plus where the investigation stands right now. Cece.
Hi, good morning. So school leaders saying that this investigation should wrap up in the coming days. They say they're still working with police to look at footage, interview staff and students. The school also saying that they will be not allowing the people who were arrested here last week to be back on campus at all. So you did mention, too, that some safety measures going into effect today. Here's what the school came up with last Friday. So the first thing, there will be an increased police presence inside and outside of the school, including additional juvenile resource officers during school hours. Students will also see more administration from across the district. At lunchtime, the campus will be closed, which means no food deliveries. Students need to bring their own lunch or eat the lunch the school provides. There will also be social workers here to support students who still need to process what happened last week. Now, the school going on to say they just want to create a safe and caring environment moving forward from last week. Coming up in 30 minutes, though, we're going to hear from a student who says, even with these changes, she doesn't feel safe coming back to school today. Guys.
All right, Cece Gaines reporting live for us this morning. Thank you very much.
We are following breaking news, though, this morning. School in Wadena Deer Creek District is closed today because of a threat. This is about two and a half hours northwest of us here in the Twin Cities.
So the school district says it's working with police right now to resolve the situation. But take a look at the announcement that went on social media just 10 hours ago. Right now, no word on what kind of threat was made. School officials say this is just a precautionary measure and school is expected to resume tomorrow.
6:04 is your time. Now turning now to some major election news ahead of tomorrow's presidential primary in New Hampshire. In a surprise move, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has suspended his campaign. That means it's just down to former President Donald Trump and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley vying for the GOP's nomination. DeSantis focused many of his resources on Iowa and came second in the caucuses. He's throwing his support behind Trump, but Haley says she's not backing down.
It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance.
I'm used to people underestimating me. It's always fun. But there were 14 people in this race, and now there are 2. I'm going to finish this.
Meanwhile, Minnesota Representative Dean Phillips is making his final push to win over Democratic voters in the Granite State. He is battling a write-in campaign for President Joe Biden, who is not on the ballot there. And Chief Political Reporter John Krollman is in New Hampshire as we speak. In 30 minutes, he's breaking down Phillips' latest poll numbers. And make sure to stay with KARE 11 tomorrow for live coverage of the primary.
This morning, the family of beloved St. Paul activist and artist Tu Zhang is speaking out after 4 people are charged with his kidnapping and killing. Last month, he was killed in Colombia while vacationing, but the details surrounding why are still foggy. According to Colombian authorities, 2 men, a woman, and a minor are charged in connection with Zhang's murder. And as one family member tells us, he was dating the woman who was arrested.
It's one of those bittersweet moments for us because I know that we can never bring him back. It brought us into tears and it just made us happy, saying that yes, there are justice in this world. So we're just happy that that happened.
Zhang's memorial service starts Saturday. In Hmong culture, funerals typically last 3 days, and he'll be buried next Monday. His family is also starting a fund in his honor.
Today marks 51 years since the landmark Roe versus Wade decision on abortion. And in about 7 hours, thousands of people will flood the state capitol mall for March for Life. The event begins at noon and is being held by the organization Minnesota Citizens Concerned for Life. Many state lawmakers and a member of Congress are expected to attend. The march will be followed by a program on the Capitol steps at 12:30.
Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris is launching a reproductive freedoms tour in Wisconsin today. That tour highlights what the Biden campaign sees as one of the key issues in 2024. The tour will feature stories from people affected by current abortion bans and call on Congress to restore the protections under Roe v. Wade that were repealed by the U.S. Supreme Court in 2022. Now, all this is happening as a public hearing at the Wisconsin State Capitol is set for today to talk about a Republican-led bill to ban abortions after 14 weeks. Now, while Republicans control the Wisconsin Assembly, Democratic Governor Tony Evers is likely to veto the bill. Last summer, a judge ruled that a law from the 1800s did not apply to consensual medical abortions, but the case is on appeal.
We now know why a man stole Judy Garland's iconic ruby slippers from a Minnesota museum nearly 20 years ago. And no, he's not the biggest super fan of Wizard of Oz. Terry Martin pleaded guilty to stealing the slippers from the museum back in 2005. His lawyer says Martin was a reformed mobster who wanted one last score because he thought the slippers were covered with real jewels. Prosecutors are asking for no prison time when Martin is sentenced next week because he's failing in health.
Good news from the CDC this morning. The agency says the salmonella outbreak linked to cantaloupes is now over. 29 Minnesotans were among the more than 400 people who got sick across the U.S. late last year. 3 people in our state actually died. The FDA says the tainted fruit under the Malchita and Ruby brand is past its expiration date. The agency says if you have any in the freezer, you're supposed to check that label. In a matter of hours, the first step to repair Stone Arch Bridge in Minneapolis gets underway.
And that means people who walk, run, bike on that landmark are soon going to have to find a new path. Our Michelle Beck is live there this morning with more details on this project. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is work on a historic and iconic piece of infrastructure here right on the edge of downtown Minneapolis. So 3 main points to consider when thinking about what exactly is going to happen right here. 1, officials say they will replace the mortar. 2, they say they'll also repair the stone. And also 3, fix just about anything else as needed. Today marks the start of pre-construction, meaning crews will measure stones under the bridge before replacing them. The project comes with a price tag of $26.2 million. The state taking it on ultimately to stop the bridge from deteriorating and to preserve it for the future. It was built in the 1880s. Since then, we know it's carried plenty of trains and people across the Mississippi River. And guys, still today, a lot of people coming around biking and walking, even a handful of them already out before the sun is even out. So coming up in the next half hour, we'll talk about how the construction will impact their commute and just a preview of that. Officials say to expect disruptions until fall of 2025.
Yeah, it's a long time,
It
but
is.
necessary disruptions because you've got to make those repairs out there.
Got to fix it.
All right, Michelle, thank you.
At 6:09 on this